Well, for more on all this, I'm joined now by Joerg Kraemer, chief economist at Commerzbank. He joins us live now from Frankfurt. Thanks so much for speaking to us. So we were hearing there that Europe's currency has fallen, some 3% since the $1 trillion bailout package was announced. What happens now? Because really, this loan package seems to have prevented it has failed to prevent the euro from hitting fresh lows against the dollar.
Well, it was not the primary target, the primary aim of this package to prevent the euro-dollar exchange rate. The primary aim was to bring down the spreads of peripheral bonds vis-à-vis bonds. And this has worked. The spreads have come down significantly on Monday and remained on a significantly lower level than before the rescue package was implemented. But of course, there is some collateral damage, and the collateral damage can be seen in the euro-dollar exchange rate as more market participants question, for example, the independence of the European Central Bank. That means the expected interest rate differential between the US and the Eurozone shifted in favor of the US dollar, and this brought down euro-dollar.
Okay, so then to what extent has this loan package damaged the credibility of the European Central Bank and indeed its president, Jean-Claude Trichet?
Well, of course, it's not totally damaged. This is absolutely nonsense. But to a certain degree, yes, of course. The ECB delivered in the past couple of months 3 U-turns in terms of communication. I think only of the IMF involvement and the question in the collateral policy. And then the third U-turn was when it comes to the outright purchase of government bonds. And of course, therefore, people question whether the ECB will be in a position somewhere in the future to hike interest rates to preserve low inflation rates. Another point is also weighing on the dollar, on the euro-dollar exchange rate, and this is the growth differential. Geithner already mentioned that the US is working out of this recession. We expect this year 3.3% GDP growth for the States. This is in excess of trend growth. Compare this to the mere 1.0% which we expect for the Eurozone. 1.0% is significantly below trend growth in the Eurozone. And therefore, the growth differential is clearly in favor of the dollar. What is your forecast
then for the euro? Are we heading for parity with the dollar, perhaps even lower than that?
Well, our forecast is not for parity, but of course it depends on the circumstances. I think the main point is the following. The Europeans bought time. And if this time is properly used, that means if reforms are implemented by the peripheral countries, then the outlook is good. If not, of course, then you may think of parity, of course.
It's interesting you speak about reforms, but we've had the likes of Spain, Portugal, Greece announce austerity measures. But really, has that done anything to calm investors? Because now there seem to be concerns that these attempts to cut back on spending could actually choke off economic growth in Europe.
Well, this is absolutely clear. You can't, for example, Greece is likely or is forced to bring down its structural deficit to GDP ratio by, I would guess, 6 to 7 percentage points this year. This is absolutely necessary, and Greece does not have the luxury to think about its business cycle. You can't solve this debt crisis without more or less going into a recession. This is a price you have to pay.
So that's where we're headed, according to your predictions. Thank you very much for sharing your thoughts, your analysis, Joerg Kraemer.